Good day everyone, as well to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo, Quezon City. Today is Thursday, April 25, and we will bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information around the Philippines. I am Ralph Suzon for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Happy listening to our listeners at 1134 kHz AM radio, and also happy viewing to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And for the brief overview of our stories, Presidential Peace Advisor Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. lauded the Armed Forces of the Philippines, particularly the 16th Infantry Division, for the neutralization of the top leader of the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters, Mohidin Alimuddin Animbang, and 11 others in an encounter in Maguindanao del Sur. He stated that the successful military operation is a statement to their professionalism, courage, and commitment in providing protection to the citizens for peace and security in the region. Galvez also recognized the significant role played by the leadership of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front and their commanders in the successful operation. According to the Secretary, the cooperation of the MILF is evidence of their willingness to assist the government in achieving long-term peace in the Bangsamoro.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
7 former rebels received financial aid totaling 70,000 pesos under the ICLIP program in Bacolod City. Each beneficiary received 10,000 pesos to support their integration into mainstream society. The recipients surrendered to the Gihilngan City Task Force and local communist armed conflict, 62nd Infantry Battalion, and Gihilngan City Police Station in December 2023. The 62nd IB, in collaboration with local police, pledged the ongoing support for government initiatives promoting peace and development in Central Negros.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
Providing the first-hand information, our correspondent joins us from Aurora with the latest update regarding the Balikata 39-2024 about the health engagement that empowers the local community in Dingalan. Go on for the details, Sergeant Sagao.
The Philippines and the United States Armed Forces, together with the Combined Joint Civil Military Operations Task Force and the local government unit of Dingalan, held a community health engagement on April 5, 2024 here in Dingalan, Aurora.
The community health engagement, attended by over 120 residents, sought to empower the participants by discussing various health topics, including basic life-saving techniques, mental health awareness, and women's health. As part of the engagement, the task force donated essential medical and dental supplies, while students of Dingalan National High School and members of the Dingalan's emergency response team received lectures on basic life-saving. A discussion promoted the best practices for tourniquet use to strengthen the community's capabilities in emergency aid, as Dingalan is an independent fishing municipality with less than 30,000 residents, and it relies on its emergency response team for urgent services. Additional attendees included Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction Officers, Dingalan Municipal Police, Bureau of Fire Protection, firefighters, and local officials, signifying the community's commitment to healthcare education. The local government unit of Dingalan, Aurora, expressed their appreciations to both the U.S. and Philippine Armed Forces for the services they rendered to the residents of the town. Sheila Taay, Dingalan's municipal administrator, said that the activity was very special and went beyond their expectations. Meanwhile, both the U.S. and the Philippine Armed Forces expressed their commitment to the community's healthcare while building relationship with the community and maintaining community resilience.
Community engagements such as this are part of Balikatan 2024, an annual exercise between the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the U.S. military designed to strengthen bilateral interoperability, capability, trust, and cooperations built over decades of shared experiences. This is John Sagaok reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Sergeant Sagao from Aurora.
DWDD Armed Forces
In other news, 6th Infantry Division strongly condemned the attack of Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters Carayalan faction in one of their detachments in Datu Hofer, Maguindanao del Sur. This was after a recent encounter where government troops clashed with a said group, resulting in the death of their top leader Mohidin Animbang alias Carayalan. According to 6th ID spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Dennis Almorato, the rebels fired at the soldiers' detachment for 30 seconds, but there were no casualties on the government side. It can be recalled that aside from the killing of the BIFF Carayalan faction leader, 11 of his men were also killed and various high-caliber firearms were recovered from the encounter site.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The FICO Community Outreach Foundation, in collaboration with the Malulupig Troopers, facilitated an initiative aimed at supporting former rebels in Misamis Oriental. Led by Ms. Michi Carrion, the Field Operations Officer of FCOF, delivered 10 sets of Adlay Production Farm inputs to members of the Anlag Ani Tapukanan Consumers Cooperatives. This effort is part of FCOF's social enterprise support for ex-rebels. The intervention is designed to strengthen agricultural development, particularly for the beneficiaries who have access to 5 hectares of land generously donated by LGU Claveria.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
Let us hear more update outside our station. Let us hear from Bea about the Senate aims to solidify proposed amendments to military and uniform personnel pensions before SONA.
Yes, Rolf, the Senate is determined to solidify the proposed reforms to the pension of military and uniformed personnel before President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s State of the Nation address in July. This was stated by Committee Chairperson Senator Jinggoy Estrada following dialogues with officials from the Armed Forces of the Philippines, Philippine National Police, and Department of Finance to iron out the said proposal. In the Senator's version of the MUP pension, or Senate Bill 2501, newly enlisted military personnel will have 7% deducted from their salary for their pensions, with the remaining 14% covered by the government. Similarly, 9% will be deducted from the salary of new entrants to other law enforcement agencies, while the government will cover the remaining 12%. The Senator also assured that the current pensions of the retired MUP personnel would not be affected. And that's the latest update. This is Beatrice Amigable reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Bea.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The United States Marine Air Ground Task Force 15 Marine Expeditionary Units successfully conducted a forward arming and refueling point exercise recently. The exercise took place in the SAR hangar and in the open ground between Air Defense Alert Center and Old Hangar in Antonio Bautista Air Base, Palawan. The exercise, attended by personnel from various units including TOG 7, Aerodrome Operations Squadron, and 571st Supply Squadron, demonstrated the coordinated efforts and collaboration among different units towards achieving mission objectives. The FARP exercise, as part of the ongoing exercise Balik-Loob 39-24, is a crucial component of military operations, enabling rapid refueling and rearming of aircraft in remote or forward areas, thereby enhancing operational flexibility and effectiveness.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, Vice President Sara Duterte extended her gratitude to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. for his continued trust and support in role as Education Secretary. In relation to this, Duterte promised to continue upholding the welfare of learners in the country. It can be recalled that President Marcos mentioned that there is no reason to remove Duterte as Education Chief, considering that cabinet members are replaced based solely on their performance. Moreover, the country's two highest officials are set to conduct a meeting in private to discuss various issues.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
We are joined now by our field reporter who has been following the situation closely about 6th ID Commander hopes for end to violence in Central Mindanao. Go on for the details, Gio.
Yes, ROF, 6th Infantry Campilan Division and a Joint Task Force Central Commander Major General Alex Rillera is hopeful for the end of violence in Central Mindanao following the death of the top leader of the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters Carayalan faction. He made this statement during the presentation by Brigadier General Jose Vladimir Cagara, commanding officer of the 1st Brigade Combat Team, showcasing various types of high-powered firearms recovered in the recent clash between the BIFF and troops in Barangay Kitango, Datu, Saudi Ampatuan Town in Maguindanao del Sur. General Rillera mentioned that Mohidin Animbang, alias Kagi Karyalan, was wanted for various crimes such as bombings, extortion, multiple murders, arson, among others, along with his brother Saga Animbang, the operations chief of the BIFF Karyalan faction known for manufacturing improvised explosive devices. He added that the military achieved a significant milestone when they launched operations against the said group. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you to our correspondent, Gio.
DWDD National News.
The Manila City Local Government Unit extended the suspension of face-to-face classes until Friday, April 26. The Manila Public Information Office made the announcement on Facebook yesterday, covering public and private schools in all levels. Manila Mayor Hani Lacuna Pangan declared the suspension following the forecast of Manila Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office. The heat index in the city may reach a dangerous 44 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, schools have been advised to shift to asynchronous classes.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Justice guaranteed the government's efforts to protect and promote human rights under the Bagong Pilipinas of the Marcos administration. According to Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla, reforms are in place to change the mindset and attitude misbehaving law enforcers and make them hold account for their violations. Remulla released this statement after United States Department reported that human rights abuses, including extrajudicial killings, continued to be a problem for the Philippines in 2023. However, the Secretary stressed that DOJ always remind law enforcement agencies and those in charge of the administration of justice that there are no shortcuts in enforcing peace and order.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
Let us receive another news from the ground. Let us hear from Sha regarding 59th IB conducts information awareness and approach program at Calantas National High School.
Yes, Rof, the 59th Infantry Protector Battalion conducted an information awareness and approach program for the students of Calantas National High School, Calantas, Rosario, Batangas. Bureau of Fire Protection and Philippine National Police assisted to the said activity that aims to provide accurate information about government programs towards peace and development. In relation to this, the military shared information about the 1987 Constitution, Article 2 Declaration of Principles and State Policies, emphasizing the crucial role of the youth in nation building. The said programs align with the call of the President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to continue the whole-of-nation approach and the National Task Force to end local communist armed conflict, to prevent terrorists and other malicious elements from recruiting, regrouping, and regaining power over our citizens. This is Shaina Araneta reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a strong Philippines.
Thank you, Sha.
DWDD National News.
Senate Deputy Minority Leader Riza Hontiveros appealed for the immediate ban on the operation of Philippine offshore gaming operation, underlining that it is a ground for illegal activities. Hontiveros made the call after her inspection yesterday, together with Senator Sherwin Gatchalian of a PAGBABAGO firm in Bamban, Tarlac, which was raided for human trafficking and illegal detention. During the inspection, the centers learned from Philippine Anti-Organized Crime Commission that 6 Chinese fugitives running love scams and cryptocurrency investment scams were found in their premises. It can be remembered that Hontiveros filed earlier the Senate Resolution number 1001 seeking to begin an investigation into foreigners using falsified documents to acquire Filipino citizenship.
DWDD National News.
In other developments, the Department of Education dismissed the report that 2 public school teachers in Iloilo died due to heat stroke. The office clarified that the death of the 2 educators were caused by other illnesses and not related to extreme hot weather. Based on DepEd's official records, one of them died in February 2024 due to hypertensive cardiovascular disease, while the other passed away last month of March because of aneurysm. The DepEd also cleared up that both incidents happened in their homes, contrary to the report that they occurred during classes.
Armed Forces Radio.
Another update outside this station. Let us hear from Beth about PDEA BARM leads massive destruction of 65.9 million pesos worth of dangerous drugs.
The Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region and Muslim Mindanao apprehended the disposal of dangerous drug valued at 65,902,825 pesos. The event led by the Director Gil Cesario P. Castro took place at the Hall of Justice Capitol site, Paticul, Sulu yesterday. They disclosed that the confiscated drug gathered from various trial court and Sulu from 2022 to the present were utilized as evidence in drug-related cases pursued by the PDEA Sulu and other law enforcement agencies including 11th Infantry Alakdan Division. The discussion aligns with the provision of the Republic Act 9165 of the Comprehensive Dangerous Drug Act governing the custody and disposal of size illicit substances. This is Beth Tanyete reporting for the EFP Community News 1 EFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Beth Tanyete.
DWDD National News.
The Manila International Airport Authority has banned smoking in the parking lot of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 3 after a fire that destroyed 19 vehicles on Monday. MIA General Manager Eric Hines also ordered the removal of grass in the open parking area, believing where the fire possibly started. However, Hines said MIA is still waiting for an official report from the Bureau of Fire Protection regarding the cause of the fire. Furthermore, the official approved recommendations to install portable fire extinguishers in the area and to have security and safety personnel who will conduct regular patrols.
DWDD National
Now on to our
News.
next story. The Department of Justice established a technical working group to fast-track the creation of a separate penal facility for persons deprived of liberty convicted of heinous crimes. Stated in Department Order Number 208, Series of 2024, issued by Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla, the TWG would be led by Undersecretary Deo Marco and Bureau of Corrections Director General Gregorio Katropang Jr. According to Remulla, the Republic Act No. 11928, also known as the Separate Facility for Heinous Crimes Act, aims to protect the welfare of the PDLs and also the security and well-being of the communities. In accordance with this, the government will establish a facility in a suitable location away from the general population and other PDLs, preferably within a military establishment or an island separate from the mainland.
Armed Forces Radio.
We have a report coming from Solcom with more details about Philippine Army units joined in empowering women's group in Naga City. Let us hear the update from Jess. Go on for the details.
A collaborative effort involving the troops of 1st Civil Military Operations Company 9 CMO Battalion, 83rd Infantry Battalion, CMFC NCPO, LGU Naga, and private stakeholders conducted the awarding of rice project to the Mabolo Women's for Peace organization in Barangay Mabolo, Naga City. This initiative, led by the Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry, represented by President Mr. Cristian Carl Malazarte, aimed to empower the women's group formerly affected by the CPP, NPA, and NDF conflicts by providing them with the means of livelihood through rice distribution. Lieutenant Colonel Thomas B. Bayawan, Executive Officer of 83rd Infantry Battalion, alongside Honorable Omar Banafe of LGU Naga and Barangay Councilor Honorable Rodel Reyes, facilitated the handover. The project underscores the commitment of the troops to support and guide Bicolano women towards sustainable livelihoods despite the challenges posed by insurgency. This project is one of the proofs that our troops, together with our stakeholders, will never get tired of guiding and will continue to serve our Bicolano women. This is Jess from Solcom reporting for AFP News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess from Solcom.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Transportation is collaborating with stakeholders in the country's aviation sector to attain net zero emissions by 2050. This is through promotion of biofuels or sustainable aviation fuels and nature-based carbon sink projects. The OTR Secretary Jaime Bautista shared in the 3rd International Civil Aviation Organization European Union Aviation Safety Agency Forum that they partnered with a top local university to create opportunities for local carbon sink projects that would become a source of local air carriers' emission offsetting requirements. He also added that through the said cooperation, the regulatory function of the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines over the development, expansion, and modernization of commercial airports would be strengthened.
DWDD. National News.
The Office of Civil Defense emphasized the need for more engineer intervention to prevent large death tolls when a massive earthquake hits the country. OCD Administrator Undersecretary Ariel Nepomuceno said in statement on Tuesday that preparations must go beyond the traditional dive, cover, and hold drills to avoid huge number of casualties. According to Nepomuceno, these include engineering solutions, consistent adherence to the provision of the National Building Code, and the strict prohibition on construction in areas that are vulnerable to landslides. Moreover, he called on the government, different sectors, and the entire nation to unite in attaining the said goal.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear from Mojic about second ID discovers NPA armed cache in Batangas.
Yes, Rope. Soldiers from the 2nd Infantry Jungle Fighter Division successfully unearthed the substantial arms cache belonging to the New People's Army in Balayan, Batangas. 59th Infantry Protector Battalion uncovered a large array of weapons including an M16 rifle, an incomplete Garand rifle, 2 caliber 22 rifles, 3 12-gauge shotgun, 166 live ammunition cartridge, 3 rifle grenades, 60 AK-47 magazine, and approximately 1,000 meters of a commercial detonating cord. Second ID Commander Major General Roberto S. Capulong emphasized the importance of this armed cache recovery, stating that significantly hampers and communities terrorist group capacity of carry out cache of terror. He further emphasized that his recovery not only reinforces security measure in Batangas but also align with the border governmental objectives to combat insurgency and foster development and progress across the province. This is Mojic reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mojic.
Armed Forces Radio.
For other updates, let us dig deeper about CSAFP honors wounded soldiers of 6th ID for bravery in combat against BIFF. Go ahead for the details, Chris Bell.
Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines General Romeo Bronner Jr. honored the 7 wounded soldiers of the 6th Infantry Division yesterday for their bravery in the battle against members of Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters Karyalan faction at Datu Saudi Ampatuan, Maguindanao del Sur. General Bronner Jr. commended the 6th Infantry Division personnel for their immense dedication and sacrifices for safeguarding peace and security in the Bangsamoro region. He also assured them of the Armed Forces of the Philippines' unwavering support and pledged to ensure that they receive the best possible medical care and assistance in their recovery. Meanwhile, General Bronner Jr. expressed his high hope to meet the timelines for the cessation of violence in Mindanao. As the nation honors its courage, the Armed Forces of the Philippines remains firm in its mission to safeguard the welfare of the Filipino people and uphold the integrity of the nation. This is Crisbel Lorenzo reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Chris Bell.
DWDD. National News.
Deputy Speaker in Cebu 5th District Representative Vincent Franco Frasco urged the Bureau of Fire Protection and Department of the Interior and local government to include in their budget next year the fund to purchase firefighting helicopters. In the House Resolution number 1686 filed by Frasco, he stressed that the increase in fire incidents that reached 25% in just 2 months this year is extremely alarming. He also emphasized that traffic congestion and narrow streets and roads are big challenges for firefighters, aside from having inadequate equipment and transportation. In regard to this, the congressman recommended the acquisition of modern firefighting helicopters in order to help firefighters in responding faster to fire incidents in Metro Manila and other parts of the country.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
That's all for today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us, especially to our audience in 1134 kHz AM radio and in AFP Radio DWDD Facebook page. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time and same station. Again, this is Ralph Susan for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.